Okay. Hi, guys. Uh, we are, hold on. Uh, so this is something new that we're trying. Um, and we are working on getting our co-host Cecilia with Bangtan Scholars into the co-host position. Because she's gonna be helping me out. I am a noob at hosting spaces. Um, but I'm so happy to see you guys. Oh my God, there's already like quite a few people in here, and I'm just really excited. Um, Let me see. I think Cecilia's working on her microphone, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna get us started because I don't want to lose too much time here. Basically, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Sydney, and I've been an Army since 2018. And I created Project Spaceship. So I am the sole person who runs this account. And I'm trying out spaces today because I just wanted to see if this would be a good tool for the project for people to have another way of connecting with each other, for talking about their concert experiences. And as you know, we just had last weekend quite the experience and the unique concert scenario in Seoul. Um, oh, Cecilia, are you here to say hi?
Hi,
Hi.
yes, I am.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad. Um, yes, Cecilia, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Of course, of course. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Post-PTD in Seoul, exploring the purple galaxy with Army. This Twitter space is hosted by Project Spaceship and co-hosted by Bangtan Scholars. We're so happy to have you all tuned in. I'm Cecilia, your co-host for today's space. I'm part of the Bangtan Scholars team, for those of you who have never met me before. And I became an Army back in late 2015 during the Most Beautiful Woman in Life era. So, Bangtan Scholars wanted to do something different from our regular posts and content. So, we wanted to empower other cool projects happening in the Army fandom. And one of those projects was Project Spaceship. So it's really significant when we can come together to share our stories and provide a connection with other armies, regardless of distance. So today's space is about sharing our experiences attending Permission to Dance on stage in Seoul, either in cinemas, live streaming, or in person. And we will also be introducing, like Sid said, the project and its mission in supporting Army's entire emotional journey of BTS's concerts. So, before we begin, we would like to say that this space is being recorded for those who wish to catch the replay. And just like Sid, let's welcome you to the stage. Like she said earlier, she's the founder of the Project Spaceship. So, hello, Sid. Thank you so much for setting up this space. And Sid and I have actually met before back in 2020 when we both attended the BTS conference in London. And you even came to pick me up at the airport. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember, with
Oh, yes.
Bucks, the founder of Bangtan Academy. And we didn't even know each other, except we only knew
Yeah.
each other from our Twitter names. So that was a really unique experience. So,
That's just BTS bringing people together.
yes, I love the fact that, we can make Army friends like in an instant. And it seems like we've been friends forever and we have like an instant connection. So, Sid, I know you spoke earlier that you became an Army, and would you mind telling us as well, like, what's your favorite song and how did you discover BTS more specifically?
Oh, sure. My favorite song, which is the handle of my other fan account, essentially, is Bepse. That song just does something to me. It speaks to my soul, makes me want to dance. And it has such a unique and interesting message. And I think it's like a pathway where a lot of people learn more about, like, oh, what do they mean, a crow tit? To really start learning more about a culture you maybe don't know about already, at least for me, in my case, as an iArmy. Um, and yeah, I found BTS super randomly. I saw had seen for a while that people were tweeting about them, randomly decided to look them up on YouTube one day, and it was early 2018. I saw Mic Drop, and honestly, that was it. I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Same. I went down to Poland. It's just been years, years, and years. So, Sid, I also would like for you to tell us very briefly, what is Project Spaceship?
Of course. Yes. So, Project Spaceship, just very simply, at least the main content that it has been up till now, is basically a series of prompts that you can journal about or just reflect on or maybe share with other people. And these are prompts that are designed to help you dig a little bit deeper into your concert experience, to prepare for the emotional aspects of it, to think about what's happening in the moment or right after a concert, and then especially during the time afterwards as we sort of transition back into normal life, thinking about what our experience really meant to us, how it connects us with other people, and what we can learn from it.
Awesome. And what is the significance of like, where did like the aspect or the term of spaceship really like derive from?
Yeah, so this sort of spaceship metaphor was something that I first used. It was earlier in 2021, and I ended up writing this blog post. I had read a book called The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker, which I really recommend, which is just about how powerful gathering with others can be, especially if you're doing it with a very strong purpose. And I was reading, especially the chapter on endings from that book. And the whole time I was thinking about the encore of BTS concerts. So I had been to like the Love Yourself and the Speak Yourself tours. So specifically those as kind of an example of the way BTS end their concerts. And I wrote this blog post using that framework. And one of the things I wove in from the book, from The Art of Gathering, was this idea that gatherings they can be temporary alternative worlds. And when you enter or exit one of those alternative worlds, it takes effort to really make those transitions gracefully and to do them really well. And so I started thinking about how BTS do that in the context of their concerts themselves and the encore, and then also the broader opportunity of what we might be able to do as fans, even just amongst ourselves, maybe personally or with each other, to think about, like, if a BTS concert is so different, such an alternative reality, that it's essentially like visiting another planet, how do you come back in a way? How do you land softly? How do you land back on Earth and then make sense of what it meant to go travel in that galaxy?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible because I think prior for me, like seeing other artists and being a fan of other artists, I never had that experience of like coming fully into realization like I'm in this universe
Mm,
with people that I admire, that I've made friends with, and felt this like feeling of nostalgia and euphoria. It's really different. I feel for me being a fan now of like BTS and other people that I used to admire. It's just so different, and the atmosphere. Because I know one of the things that you mentioned in your blog post was that other concerts usually just run after song and you see all the pyrotechnics and the big screens, and then like
mm,
BTS you have that moment to like really just look at the army bomb wave and look at the colors and the sky, and you're like, I'm actually here, and
yeah.
and maybe I've never seen them before and I'm here with other armies, maybe it's my first interaction. So it's definitely um, that sense of like afterwards is like, how do I deal with the emotions? How do I deal with the nostalgia months later on, or not being able to see them? So
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And it was like, it was my first experience at a concert that had like ending ments, you know? And so that I think is it sets such a good tone for just like taking a moment and thinking about, wow, like what's going on here? Why is it special? What am I appreciating about this moment? But then it's something that I hope we can continue even well after the concerts are over.
So yeah, this project is like divided into four phases. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because you talk about like landing, soft landing, and things.
Mm, yes, exactly. So I expanded it by one phase because I'm a little more prepared for the Las Vegas concerts coming up. I ran this for the first time when they were in LA, and the first phase was just the countdown, but now I want to try and add more support in the month leading up to the concerts. So that's the sort of what I'm calling ready set phase right now, where your concert experience has already begun. Like later down the line, when you're telling the story of what this meant to you or what happened, it might be already starting with how you're making plans, what you're looking forward to. Now some of these other performances that are maybe influencing how you're feeling about seeing Vegas. There will be still a week countdown phase, just for like those final moments of preparation and anticipation. Then the soft landing phase. Oh, were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. um, the soft landing phase is about those like immediate post concert moments, where especially, we talk about post concert depression and some of those quote unquote symptoms and feeling maybe tired or sad immediately afterwards, or not, or whatever it is that you're feeling, but those sort of most intense moments immediately after a show, thinking about those as what can we do to make this landing a little bit softer. And then up to a month following the concerts. I mean, I don't think that processing ends after a month. It totally depends. I've been thinking about some of my past concert experiences for years. Um, but at least in a formal structure, like up to a month after the concerts, having various prompts over time to just remember to reflect on what happened and to like make space for that.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what PCD means, it's post-concert depression, and it's a term that has continuously been thrown around in fan culture, and many blogs have attempted to explain it. And I'm just going to read a really big quote. It's like the sudden overwhelming of rapid downward crash and characterized by a feeling of recurring emptiness, maybe disappointment, longing, heartache, after a very long awaited fulfillment of high moments, which often comes as a realization that that moment and how fun and euphoric it felt. And it's like truly over, and it's precipitated by the wish to relieve that moment, followed by a fear of never getting the chance to ever relive that moment. So that's what it is in a nutshell. And we should probably just get started with maybe introducing some of other armies who maybe want to, share their experiences this time around, because we have, the world is going through so many changes, and haven't maybe had the opportunity to go to a BTS concert in quite a long time, or even interact with other armies and meet up. So we would love to open the stage or the floor if anybody
Yes.
would like to share anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the recent concert. It could be about anything, army friendships. The stage is open.
Yes. And I want to, yeah, so this is the main reason why we're here. We want to know what you guys are thinking about. We want to hear about how you watched the Seoul concerts, how you're feeling. The replays start tomorrow. And I also, you don't have to respond to this at all, but I did post a prompt sort of related to this space. So if you're not quite sure what you want to talk about, you can think about the prompt, which I think Bangtan Scholars or Cecilia, you might be able to retweet or Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the prompt was essentially, what about the Seoul shows? What about your experience watching the Seoul shows was most precious to you? Or what did it make you think about as being precious, and why? Um, so again, you don't have to talk about that. We're curious about whatever it is about your experience that you feel like you want to share. Um, it doesn't have to be super deep the way that prompt sort of like is nudging. Uh, you know, we can just gush about whatever, and yeah. Please don't be shy. So I think there's a way to raise your hand through the emojis, the raised hand, and then there should be also another another way to request to be a speaker. And I will mention, I got to see it in theaters. I got to see day 2 in theaters. And wow, I was so grateful that we could scream along. I really felt for K-Army in the audience having to hold in their screams, because I certainly couldn't just in the movie theater. So
Yeah. So we have somebody that actually wants to speak.
oh, perfect.
Let me find them. I think they just exited actually.
Oh no. I hope they come back.
Yes. If anybody would like to go, let us know. We can definitely. There we go. Hi.
Hi, welcome. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we
welcome.
Thank you
can.
so much for hosting this space for all of us. I have to tell you that for me, Black Swan is a work of art. And every single time that I see it, no matter which presentation they have it, I fall in love more and more deeply. And the concert this time around, I think that I just fell into a trance when I saw that. And I was lucky enough to see it in LA live, and I saw it in the movie theater again, and I've seen, the online concert, and I just think that they're masterful in how they express themselves through their words and their bodies. I am just continuously amazed by that particular performance.
Yes. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. I totally agree with you. That performance gives me chills no matter how many times I see it. And that sense of awe, I think, um, is such an interesting moment in the concert.
I
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure. I still wish that that had been a Grammy nominated song. I think it deserves
Oof,
all the accolades.
here,
Yeah.
here.
Yes. I hope they actually do it for the Grammys. I mean, it's like a master, like a piece of artwork with all the dancers.
I hope they turn that award show into their own concert, as they always should and do.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thanks. We have a next guest speaker. Hi.
Hi there.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is America. Thank you for letting me speak. And I wanted to talk about the movie theater experience. I've never been to a BTS concert before, and all of the concerts that I've watched have been online. And seeing them, I watched the concert on the 10th and on the 13th, both online, and then on the 12th, which was the theater one. And let me tell you that it was a massive difference. The moment I walked to the theater, there were so many armies, so many people I've never encountered before. And let me tell you that right from that moment, my heart was beating so freaking fast. Then I got up to, I went into the room to the screen, and the concert didn't even hasn't even started yet, and everybody was so screaming. Everybody was so excited, amazing, and so welcoming and so sweet around me. And when it started, like I really felt like I was home. Like I've never got the opportunity to meet so many people, so many loving people who has the same passion as me, and we're the same, has euphoric and exciting, and everyone was so screaming, and nobody literally no like that room was full of screams the entire time from beginning to end. And it was so overwhelming for me, because then when I went back home, I watched it was on the same night, the concert on the 13th. I felt so lonely because, oh, obviously I was in my room alone, and everyone else was sleeping. But the difference with people gathered around you, watching the same thing, feeling the same things, is just completely amazing. And the highlight moments for me on the 13th. I don't know if everyone is still listening to me, or I'm just keep or talking.
Yes,
Yes.
we are 100% still with you,
Okay.
and throwing purple heart emojis your way. So keep going.
Thank you. And let me tell you just the highlights of the night. Like the moment they sang and they played Anthem Man, Go Go, So What, like literally the room broke. Everyone broke. And it was so amazing. And the last song, which was Permission to Dance, as you know, obviously everyone, like, literally, I'm sorry for the word I'm about to say, literally didn't give a fuck, because we weren't allowed to stand up. But literally they didn't give a fuck, and everybody stood up, and everybody danced, screamed, sang, and danced to Permission to Dance choreography. And we did also the wave, which was really cool. Like, I've never been to a concert, to a BTS concert. So doing the wave on a theater room, like with other people being excited as you, it was completely nuts. And right now, as you mentioned, I'm on a complete post depression, post concert depression. And I don't know how to get out of it, because I feel so empty right now. And my serotonin and my adrenaline got up so high. My hormones were like literally just went crazy. And right now, I'm just really waiting for the replays to come. Got to and to get to experience that again. And I wish that everybody, felt the same way as I did. And I wish that someday I get the opportunity to go to a concert in person, and to feel the the double amount that I felt as before. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you get to go to one in person too. And I mean, I certainly can hear the excitement in your voice when you're talking about the experience in the theater. So I hope that being able to share that takes a little bit of the edge off of your post-concert depression. Yeah, I had so much fun in the theater. So was that, if I can ask, like, was that the first time? I know it was your first, BTS concerty experience. Is it the first time you were in a group of armies like that?
Yeah, like I hear. By the way, I'm a Latin American army. I live in Ecuador, and I live in South America, and obviously, there's the official fan base, but and they always make this kind of meetings like for the boys on the birthdays, and as you know, as other countries do. And I have my army friend, but I only have one army friend, and I've encountered with her before, like this, like I've had sleepovers over her house, for a BTS concert, but that was it. And like as you said, it was really like this out of the world experience with so many armies. Like literally there were not thousands but hundreds of them on that movie theater. So yeah.
Yeah, I can totally relate because I was in the army as well in 2015, but I actually never even met a proper army until 2 years later, until I went to the Wings tour in Hong Kong in 2017, and everybody around me spoke Cantonese, so I was a bit scared of like, oh, no one really speaks English. Like I don't, I'm by myself, but fortunate enough, somebody beside me knew that I was a foreigner, and she was like, "Oh, I'm actually Canadian, Canadian and Canton, from Hong Kong as well." And so she was the first person that I met, and she took my picture as well. But afterwards, unfortunately, I lost her contact and never like never saw her again. But that moment is so precious with me because, like, wow, it wasn't until 2 years later I met an army, and all the experiences that I had online with them or with anybody else, like, translated that into like the real world, like as a person. So, yes, I do hope you get to go to a concert one day. Thank you so much for sharing. We're gonna move on to our next guest speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
I see. It takes a second for people to get connected once they are a speaker status, but you should be able to unmute yourself now. There
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Michaela. So I just wanted to actually talk about the project because it's been really helpful for me. I went to the LA concert and I had Map of the Soul tickets, so it was really stressful to get tickets again. My first ticket buying experience with Map of the Soul was rough. And then Permission to Dance, some people might relate, was also difficult because of technical things. And so I was really actually very anxious about this trip. So I had to travel there to get there, stay there. And I was going with some family and friends, but I was so anxious. And this project was really helpful and is continuing to be helpful in my concert experiences because it helps me to actually try and process what those emotions are, because most people don't. I feel like they have things that they're passionate about like this, but they're not as excited as we are. Or maybe they just don't know, they can't relate in the same way that how much we love BTS and how important they are to us. And so the project and going to the concert was so helpful in being able to realize that I'm not the only ARMY that has conflicting emotions about the concert, about being able to see them, about just the concert experience. I haven't been to very many concerts in my life either, and so BTS concerts are I know unique because I've talked to people about their concert experiences, and they're nothing like a BTS concert, with the camaraderie and the highs and the emotions that you can feel. And so I really appreciate this project and really excited that it's going to keep going and that there's more leading up to it. Because it's been really helpful for me to connect with other ARMY and help other ARMYs to process their emotions and feelings, as well as to kind of process my own in understanding my relationship with BTS and how they influence me. and in my life, even though I've never met them.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, and I'm so touched whenever I get really any kind of feedback about the project, because of course this is what it's all about. So yeah, thank you again so much. And I will say, like, the project, like, I'm basically just trying stuff out and I really hope to just continue getting feedback from armies. Let me know what parts work. Like, I mean, for like this space, for instance, I'll definitely be looking for feedback afterwards. What you wish we did, or would you attend again? Things like that, because I definitely see this project as evolving over time as we figure things out together about what just what we might need, because I don't think anyone has the be all end all answer yet. So thank you so much.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. Oh,
You're on mute right now. If you would like to share something. Sorry, is it Sarita, I believe?
Hello. Oh.
Hi. There you are.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My kids came in the room, so I can let someone else go. For now.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know when you're ready, and we can always circle back.
Thank you.
Thanks. How cute.
Hi, Jed. Ooh, technical difficulties. Let us know when you're ready, Jen, if you want to speak, or we can move on to the next speaker. You can always circle back.
Oh,
connecting.
Oh no, did we lose it? Did we lose them?
Probably. It seems like they're having Wi-Fi issues.
Okay.
But yeah, and all about concert experiences, especially with how everything's going around in the world. There's going to be a lot of changes in the music industry. So definitely having Project Spaceship and the prompts created definitely will help us to discover those unhidden emotions. Especially with the pandemic, we probably had a hidden emotions that we've never even realized before.
All right.
Hi, Jen. Welcome back.
I tried to get Jen back.
I
think we may have lost Jen again.
Yes.
Yeah,
if anybody else wants to go, you guys can as well request it, and we'll definitely have the space open for you.
And Jen, if you're there or when you get your mic connected, like, just jump in. We are ready to hear from you. I know that the ticketing experience was mentioned pretty briefly, which I don't know that we necessarily want to go there, but I just want to acknowledge that, yeah, it's so stressful. And it's so interesting to me that such a wonderful, connecting, largely very, very intensely positive experience often starts with this super stressful, negative, maybe even heartbreaking experience in some ways. I don't particularly have any other like insights about that, but since it was mentioned, just wanted to acknowledge it.
Absolutely. Just even for the Las Vegas concert, my heart was like pounding. I was shaking. I was really nervous this time around, which being in Army from 2015, it was hard, but I feel like nowadays it's definitely a lot harder. And I always get the jitters beforehand. I'm like, am I going to be able to go, or I'm going to have to buy a resale ticket, and all of that, and very much. Hi, Jen. Welcome back.
I wonder if it's a problem getting the mic connected.
Probably. Hi, Sarita. Thank you so much for the wave. Yes, absolutely. And I'm pretty excited for the Las Vegas concert. It seems that the set list will be a bit different. Maybe we'll see new costumes. I'm super excited and interested if there'll be new things added, you know.
Yeah. Sarita, did that mean that you were ready to speak? Not sure. Yeah, I'm well, so yes, Cecilia is going to the Vegas concerts. I don't currently have a plan to go to those concerts, so I'm in a little bit of a different position, but I mean, I can just imagine like if I was going, how pumped I would be to cheer for them. I mean, that was a big thing for me as I mentioned earlier too, like seeing that K-Army weren't able to yell, and how that changed just the entire soundscape of the concert, and those mixed emotions that I think all the members talked about, that sort of missing piece, being so happy to be together, but not being able to use our voices the way we usually are. I'm really excited for Armies and for BTS to get to have that again in Vegas.
Yeah, just seeing like the first day of the concert on my timeline, for me it was a bittersweet moment, because I'm like, they can't scream, they can't really like, you know, jump and wave their hands. So it was like an inner battle, like they haven't had a concert in over 2 years in their country, you know, and not being able to do that. And Jungkook expressed that like on his video recording on his Instagram. He was like, you know, he was battling himself with, you know, not being able to receive the energy from the crowd, the screams, and like being able to see as well like their faces because everybody's wearing masks. So that experience for me was like, I just saw them in LA like 3 months ago and I had the opportunity, but I can just imagine it being really heartbreaking for them.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there are people who have joined us more recently, who weren't able to catch the beginning of the space, but we are having just like, honestly, it's the open floor right now. So we're totally curious to hear about your experience watching the Seoul concerts, if you're going to Vegas or if you're going to watch Vegas, how you're feeling about that, any past concert experience that might be on your mind, with all of this other stuff that's been going on, where it's really just an open forum for people to share with each other, because you never know what about your experience is going to resonate with someone else. So please request to speak, raise your hand. We want to hear from you, whatever your story is. Okay. Sarita, you can, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Hi. No problem.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarita. I've been in Army since December 2019. I am Namjin biased. And for my concert experience, my first big concert ever in my whole life, was going to LA for day 1 and day 2. I got to be in the SoFi Stadium for day 1, and I didn't have to go back until that Monday, so I decided to get tickets to the YouTube Theater. And honestly, um, I feel like the first day being in the stadium and looking down and seeing them, it was so unreal. So I kept looking at the screen because my whole time being in Army was Bang Bang Kong the Live, Map of the Soul 1. It was all online. So I had to remind myself, no, they're down there on the stage. So that was really surreal. I had an incredible time as well in the YouTube Theater because there were lights, there was smoke, sparklers, they had confetti. So it was just a really great experience. We did the wave in there, and I was so excited. I said, oh my gosh, I would love to do this, back in my hometown, with other armies, not remembering that they had actually done that kind of experience for other armies before. So what was so awesome is that with the Seoul concert in theaters, that was actually my birthday, March 12th. So I got to celebrate with other armies and with BTS, reuniting with their Diamonds. And what is so funny is that I was planning just to go by myself, but my husband decided to go with me. And so he had an incredible experience and he loved it so much. And, on our way back, he was just talking about how awesome they were and how the more he was talking, he was just getting it. He got the message, what they were all about, how authentic they were with Army, and how they really cared about their music. And I was like, yes, I've been waiting. I've been waiting so long for this. What is funny is that I expected the experience that I had in YouTube Theater to be the same when I came to the theater on the 12th, but actually armies were a lot more shy where I was. So there would be, a little woo, we see Jimin and we're like, woo, nipples, woo, some abs. But and a lot of them were sugar biased, and they're like, ah, sugar. But I was yelling and stuff. I had my army bomb there. A few other people did. And the more I was sitting there and just seeing how shy everyone was, I was like, you know what? No, this is my birthday and I came here to celebrate. And I'm not gonna be scared. I'm gonna be that awkward extrovert that I am. So when Permission to Dance came on, and there's a point choreography, I got up and I did the dance, and next thing I knew, other armies got up as well and were doing it, and just da na 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 na, and it was just so awesome. And after everything was over, it got awkwardly quiet again. So I just yelled, "Barahe Army!" to the whole theater. And they're like, "Barahe!" So where I was at the bottom row, at the bottom, like really at the bottom, like really close to the TV. I stood up and I turned around and looked at the whole theater. I introduced myself and I said, "Today's my birthday and I'm so excited to experience this with all of you." I was at SoFi, a stadium in LA, and a few of them were like, "Yes, me, I was there too, whoa, whoa," and everybody was just more alive then. And I just said, this is really special, and just barahe, everyone have a good evening. Almost like I invited everyone there, which I know I didn't. It wasn't about me, but just I wanted to kind of, break the ice that had been there for over 3 hours. But in the end, I gave my my Twitter handle if anybody wanted to follow and become moots. And so I do have some new Army friends that are living closer now. But I think, I saw that some other armies were kind of disappointed as well, because they were, it's okay, not everyone's the same and you can be timid and shy, but I think a lot of people were expecting, that crazy stuff that we were seeing, in other countries. But it's okay if that wasn't your experience, but I hope that you have more that are more incredible, and don't be afraid to say hello and yell at a theater of people and tell them how much you love them. Yes, that's all I have to say.
Wow, thank you so much. First of all, happy belated birthday. And what a wonderful story. Yes, I mean, I know that I've just speaking to some of my friends, some people really enjoyed their theater experience in terms of energy and activity. It was a good match for what they wanted, and other people, it wasn't. So that can be a bit tough too, depending on the situation. But I really admire you and love so much that you just took the initiative to express yourself and to celebrate. I think that's super awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, I'm gonna invite one of our next requests to come up and be a speaker. Oh, I'm sorry. I may have approved someone who who requested second, but we will get to both of you, so no worries.
Who's first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. I won't take too long. This is a really cute space. Thank you for creating it and allowing me on the mic. LA was actually my first BTS in concert experience, and I kind of threw everything all in one basket, right? Of course, I've seen the 144p, pixelated fan cams and whatever we could at, various countries during World Tour. I missed an opportunity to see them when they were closer to me in Fort Worth. And then I said, this time around, I really became ARMY late 2017. So I think I just consider myself a DNA ARMY, and, quickly fell into the rabbit hole like everybody else. No life vest, no anything. And it's actually been a really enlightening experience. I'm an older ARMY. I have no problem, revealing age. I just turned 40 this year, and I feel like it's like I'm living my best life now. Getting to appreciate the BTS experience with my teenager, and being able to bond like this over trips. So I've done all the online shows since the first Bang Bang Kong all the way through. I went to LA. I went to all 4 shows. No regrets, threw it all in, and worked in Jingle Ball. The biggest blessing that I had ever received was when Weverse actually first came online in 2019. And Jin actually had replied to me for the first time, and I lost it. I just, don't know where to go from there. That's the happiest moment, the most elevated experience that you ever feel with somebody you've never met, right? But you grow to love them and appreciate them like family. And I say that because then I felt I was able to give that back to him at the shows and sing him a happy birthday twice, at Day 4 and at Jingle Ball. So that was a really awesome experience for me. I did the streaming pass for Seoul. Doesn't matter if it's the same show, doesn't matter if it's almost the same set list. I know sometimes real life, family or friends or coworkers don't understand, right, where we're coming from. They're like, didn't you just come from LA? You spent a week out there. I said, yeah, and I'm also going to Las Vegas. And if there wasn't so many days between the first 2 shows and the last 2 shows, I'd probably be there the whole week too. But so I'm going to be there for Day 3 and Day 4, and hopefully continue on this US, maybe more residencies get posted after this. I really hope they can do something and get to touch many more ARMYs' lives. And I think they're aware of the love and the appreciation that we give to them. But it's almost like you wish you could tell them your story. And you know, it just makes me happy to know that I can support them this way, right? I wear my Army badge with honor, literally tattooed on my arm. And you know, I like the community and the friends and the in developing friendships here within the Army community and in these types of spaces. So I really appreciate you all, you know, setting this up. And yeah, let's continue to have fun in this purple galaxy, right? And see what awaits us with comeback and in the future, especially with so much uncertainty around us. That's one thing that we can rely on is them. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. That was very, very well said. Thank you so much. And yeah, I love what you said about being able to give the energy back. I love that about a concert too. All right, let's get through some of these other requested speakers. We're really going to try and get through everyone that wants to speak.
Hi, Allie. You can go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Yeah, my name's Allie. My bias is J-Hope, but of course I'm OT7, and it's just been really wonderful to tune in here on this lovely space. I've definitely resonated with everyone's story in one way or another. I've been Army since 2017, but it wasn't until the LA that I was able to finally see them live. And yeah, it was really surreal, but it was really wonderful. I really had so much fun. I took my sister and my friend, who's also my roommate, and she's a baby Army, but she also had so much fun, and it was great. The little things, I think that I had just the mixed feelings with it. I was on day 3, and the fan chants. I think we were all just so overwhelmed with, I guess, with the time and everything. Like, I don't know, there's still, I guess, with COVID, and still people feel a little different, maybe more hesitant to make friendships, but really the armies have been so lovely, and it was really nice just to meet everybody and at least say hi from a little distance if people are, even if we're a little shy. But it was really great to see everyone. And also, what else I wanted to share? Oh, with the cinema experience. So yeah, I was kind of expecting people to be a little more hype. I was hoping to be able to do more of the fan chants, maybe, since I know they couldn't do it in person, but at least in the theater. But I think the crowd was a little shy, so we didn't go all the way like that. But I think I felt like I was the loudest one, and at least for a few songs like Fire and Dope, I just really couldn't help that. And it was nice to see people start to use their army bombs and kind of get hyped as well, at least for those like really hyped songs. So that was really nice, and I still get to meet other really lovely armies who had this little gifts um, at the theater. So that was really cute, and I just thank everyone for yeah, sharing their stories too. It's just been really lovely.
Yes, thank you for joining us and also sharing yours. All right. Oh, okay, let's see. I think we maybe, some of the people who are requesting might have fallen off, but please keep trying. And yeah, we have the next speaker ready to go. If you can unmute yourself.
Is it Tay June 13?
Oh, oh no. Okay. If something goes wrong when you come up as a speaker and you want to try again, please just keep requesting, but we're gonna, I think, move on to the next request.
Hello.
Is that me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome, Jen.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Oh, great. There's a delay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'll just thank you. I'm having to double up with my phone and my computer because of the audio. So I'll just go ahead and talk because it's a few minutes behind. So the biggest thing that I think we all feel like drawn to, and we know that there's this deep connection between ARMY and BTS. And I think the one thing that I love the most about watching the concerts like online this last weekend is thinking they're right there. Like I know what they're doing right now in this moment. And I feel similarly with like the lives, but the concert is different because that's like just what they were born to do. So it just feels this really intense, like they're right there. That's, I know where they are right now, and that there's that deep bonding moment. And I went to one of the nights in LA, and I had, I'm a Deshita Army, and I used to work in the music industry and had like a really sour opinion of it. And BTS has done amazing things in helping me overcome a lot of that. And one of them was the way that they look at armies when they are in concert. And I remember seeing Tae's Army Eyes live, and I saw that moment where he, you know, everyone knows that moment where he like just takes a deep breath and he's looking around and he just has so much love for us on his face. And it was like all these broken parts in my heart were getting healed by this man and the way that he was looking at us. And I know that that's not something that I can like heal from. It was a different way to heal. In that moment, it was this very supernatural, like this person that I care about so much, these people that I care about so much, and what they're doing is taking these broken parts of me and putting them back together. And I've, you know, been in tons of live environments and seen tons of artists. And it was that moment that is what healed me. And it was, BTS is just so special live. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
I mean, I'm so moved by that. I'm so, yeah, just absolutely applauding everything that you just said. So thank you so much for sharing. I'm really glad we got your sound working and that you got to share.
Thank you so much. Is July?
Hello?
Hi.
Okay,
Welcome.
I don't know what happened last time, but like when it was my turn, this loud music started blaring and I couldn't do it.
Oh, no way.
So
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened. Hi, Jen, by the way. I love Jen, just saying. God, my mind is all over the place listening to you guys talk. First of all, thank you for letting this space happen. I did go to the LA shows. I was there day 3. So hi, other day 3 Army. I heard y'all. LA was my first concert in a very, very long time. I don't have any problem telling you guys my age either. I'm 30. I have an 8-year-old kid who's also Army. His bias is Jungkook. Mine is Tae. And I unfortunately couldn't take him with me to LA. We live in Hawaii, and it's very hard for us to, you know, travel to the mainland.
plane tickets are expensive and whatnot, but I ended up going by myself as like a little mom vacation to day 3 in LA, and I actually met up with my good friend that I met through Discord, who's also Army, and we had like a really tearful meeting, and we had a blast at the concert. I full on broke down getting to see Spring Day performed live. I am a Spring Day Army. I don't have proper words to like describe everything I felt in LA, and the people I met were absolutely amazing. Like, I made a ton of friends while I was there. The way that Army is so, how do you say, accepting is just, it's amazing to me, because we're all so different but the same. And I have 2 favorite moments from being in LA, and the first one was there were these 2 guys off to the side of the line, and I had walked over and I struck up a conversation with them. And I'll admit, I probably should not have asked this because it's assuming, but I was like, "Oh, are you guys here with like your girlfriends or partners?" And they're like, "No, we're here by ourselves." And like one of the dudes was like, "I'm here for my boy Jamin. Screw all these other people." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love you. That's amazing. Live your best life." And I found out that they actually had relatives in Hawaii, so we had like probably a 30-minute conversation while waiting to get into SoFi about everything. And then I did the crazy thing, because we all know how expensive like ride shares and stuff were for LA after the concert. My friend and I walked 3 miles back to our hotel. And funny enough, it must have been the right decision. I'm not particularly religious or anything, but something set me on that path, because about, I want to say, a fourth of the way into our 3-mile walk back to the hotel, we saw this girl, young, tiny Asian girl, walking by herself in LA at like midnight. And I walked up to her and I was like, "Honey, are you walking by yourself?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm walking to my hotel." I was like, "What hotel are you at?" Turns out she was at the one right next to us. And I was like, "No, baby, you're walking with us." Like, my mom instinct kicked in. And I had her walk the 3 miles. On the way there, I like pulled up DoorDash and like I ordered food to the hotel room, and I was like, "If you don't mind, you can come eat with us." And I handed her my phone. I was like, "Pick whatever you want to eat, baby. You're good. Like, it's fine." And her name is Cindy. We actually are still really good friends. We talk a lot. I made another amazing friend in her, and that it was just an amazing experience. Like, and she said that she's so glad that even though she came by herself, like, she's glad that Army is the way that Army is, because she doesn't think any other fandom or people would have been like, "No, you're not walking by yourself, you're with me." So I don't know, LA was just so many emotions. I'm also sorry if you're hearing my birds chirp. They tend to talk when I talk. So, and then for the Seoul show, I did a live streaming ticket. There was a theater on island that was doing it, but it was on the other side of the island, and I am going to Vegas, so I decided not to spend the extra money. So I don't know how the theater experience was here. I don't really have any Army friends on island that I could ask, so, but, you know, I think everybody summed up a lot of what it felt like to watch them this go around without the cheering and everything. And it makes me even more excited to go to Vegas and scream extra loud for them. I was fortunate enough this time for Vegas. I will be there once again on day 3. I actually scored barricade tickets. I haven't quite processed that yet. I'm still processing it. I still can't believe it, because I'm taking my son with me this time. This is his first ever concert, and he gets to be 3rd row barricade. He's got a sign
printed out for Jungkook that says Jungkooki Hyung Sarangheo, and he designed it himself. I'm like super stoked for him to experience this. When he found out what tickets I got, he cried. My kid's pretty awesome, if you ask me. And we're meeting up with a couple of my friends who live on the East Coast, and I'm probably gonna break down again. But I mean, he knew about the theater show and he was a little bit upset not going to the movie theater to watch the concert. But at the same time, like, my kid straight up was like, I'm tired of online concerts. And I was like, I know, baby. That's why we're going in April. So I don't know really what else except that all of you guys are awesome. I love ARMY. I love all of you guys. And that's pretty much it.
That's incredible. I hope you have an amazing time. I actually had Barricade for Wembley, and that made me tear up too because of Forever Young singing. But I hope to meet you. I will be there.
Oh my God.
Come say hi. We will be there. Bangtan Scholars will be there on different days. I personally will be there on day 3. We're also giving out freebies. So come say hello. Come get a freebie. And yeah, I'm
Hopefully I
excited.
run into you. I'll have bright bluish purple hair with an 8-year-old kid with a sign for Jungkook. So
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. It sounds like you're gonna have the best time. Oh, so exciting. My heart was so full. All right. Let's see if we can bring the next speaker up. Erica? If you're there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm an older ARMY. And I've been ARMY for about 3 years now, 3 going on 4. But back then when I first started, again, I started with like everybody else, what's their name? That's all I wanted to know, just what's their name. And it just kind of grew. For me, it was kind of like, this can't be real. That's how it felt. It felt like, okay, this can't be real, because they're just so, they look so genuine. They look so happy and real and human. And I kept watching and I kept watching, thinking, there has to be something, right? And the more I watched and the more I fell into that hole, I started realizing, this is real. That's who they are. Those are the emotions they're showing us. That's what they stand for. And for me, at the moment, at that time, I was just so desperate to find some good in the world, because all these things were happening, you know. I was starting to lose hope that this generation would be the last that had the morals and, you know, that were just good people. I just wasn't seeing any more light at the end of the tunnel. So when I found them, it was just such a blessing, because they started giving me hope that, yeah, there's still good people out there. There's still goodness and humanity and fair, you know, people that are just good at heart. And I found that in their lyrics. I found that in the way they treat each other, the way they treat ARMY. And it's just amazing to me how much they love us. You know, you can see it in their faces. You can see it in the way they look at us, and you feel it every time they speak through that screen. It's like you just want to go out there and touch it and just say, I feel you. Sometimes I I feel like they can't see us, or they need that instant gratification, especially in this last concert that they did with Seoul. How, Jungkook, and how Jungkook said, I can't see your face. I can't hear your voice. And that just broke my heart, because I know 100% that we all just really appreciate their performance, and we all just love what they do. And for him not to be able to feel that just broke my heart. Anyway, anybody, all of you guys who are going to go to Las Vegas, I want you guys to roar. I want you guys to scream your heart out and make sure that they feel it. I know I did when I went to SoFi. And I went on day 1 and day 4. And that was like the best moments. It was just so wonderful to see this, this whole sea of purple. It's just wonderful to see all these people that are just, they have heart, and they have soul, and they feel like family. I was in line, and, I went by myself. I was in line, and I just started talking to the people around me, and you just feel that camaraderie, that these people. Like, you talk to them, they're strangers, but yet we all have that in common, that heart, that humanity. And it's just so amazing. I love being ARMY. I love being in this community. And I just remember one time when Break the Silence was out, the movie, and it was in the middle of the pandemic. And at first I didn't know anything about it, because I knew they were going to do the movie, but I didn't know when or where. And I heard it on Twitter. Somebody said, oh, it's going to be in a theater close to me. So I decided, okay, I'm going to sneak out of work. I'm going to tell them I'm sick. And I went to the theater, and it was in the middle of the day. And I went in there, and there was nobody in the theater. Nobody. And it was just me. And the movie started playing, and I danced, I sang, I cheered, I chanted, and I just lived it, like, by myself. But it was a great experience, because just the idea of that movie playing with nobody in sight, nobody in the theater, just broke my heart, because that's their work. That's their gift to us, and I wanted to be there to appreciate it. So it was a great experience. It was just for me, And this last thing I wanted to share with you guys is I went to the movie theater for this latest concert in Seoul. And my husband went with me, which is amazing, because he doesn't really like the music, and he doesn't really understand my love for them. And I really don't talk to him that much about it, because I don't want to force something that I appreciate onto him. So on the way there to the theater, I kind of explained to him my appreciation and my love for these 7 men. And I told him, I'm all like, they're not in any way, shape, or form have anything really to do with you. Because I love my husband, I love my children, and they're my everything, they're my reality. But yet these 7 men I love them. I love them dearly. And it's because they give me hope. They're like the sunshine in this time of war, this time of uncertainty, this time of darkness, and they are my light. And my husband understood, and he sat with me. And it's not like he enjoyed it, but he did not judge, and he did not say anything. And he was happy to be there with me to share that. Anyway, I made this a little bit too long and probably a little bit too personal, but I feel that Army is like family to me, and I do appreciate all of you. Anyway, borahe. Love you all. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Erica, for sharing. We'd send you a really big virtual hug from where we're at around the world. And absolutely, the relationship that BTS and ARMY have nurtured, regardless if you have encountered them since they debuted a year ago or just 2 months ago, can't be easily understood or confined into one definition or emotion or experience. It's a mass collection of individuals and collective filters that were perpetually blurring together to become one. And that one is ARMY, and that one is what BTS stands for, who they are, and all that they embody. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We would definitely love to bring onto stage Ivy if you're listening. The stage is all yours. Welcome.
Me?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we
okay.
can.
I think it turns the sound off temporarily when it turns your microphone on. But anyway, hi, my name is Ivy. I'm in Australia, so thank you for opening this space at a time when we're actually awake. So that's awesome. And it's really great to hear everyone's stories because there's a lot of tours down here. So it's I don't know, I've been so emotional listening to you all talk, so I might be a bit shaky, so apologies for that. But I just wanted to...
It's all okay. We're all here with you.
I just wanted to say, so I haven't been ARMY that long, about a year, and so PTD is my first experience of their concerts, but I guess my gateway song, as I call it, was Spring Day, because that's the first song I ever saw of them, their first video that I ever came across. And to hear someone before talking about Spring Day and the experience of hearing them live, I thought, wow, that must be just so amazing. It was amazing enough, you know, watching it on a screen. I really just put my hand up to speak because I wanted to talk about my experience of the theatre showing, because I went with I don't have that many ARMY friends in real life. You know, there's this huge community and I feel so connected to all of you online, but in terms of people who actually understand that I see on a day-to-day experience face to face, there's only a couple of people that I know in my everyday life. But I'm a part of my Korean language class online. We're all ARMYs and we're all in a group chat together. So I guess we have that connection every day. But it's different than hearing from people that have gone and experienced this whole tour live. It's amazing to hear all your stories. So thank you so much for sharing them. I got so emotional hearing was it Jen talking about the ARMY eyes before. I know exactly the look you're talking about, and that just must be so much more intense in, you know, in real life, in a live situation. I can't even imagine what that must be like. But hopefully for the next tour we'll get them down here in Australia and be able to experience that too. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I wanted to talk about the cinema showing. I was really, I guess, a bit worried because I didn't know how many people here supported them. And I thought I will be so depressed if I turn up to a theatre and there's like me and 5 other people. But it was theatre screen after theatre screen booked out, and they kept having to book out more screens, and I was like overcome with emotion just looking at them announce, you know, cinema after cinema. And I thought, oh my God, we are here. And and not in small numbers. And to show up to that screening and see how passionate people were, I felt so not alone. I mean, when I first found BTS when I was in one of the hardest moments of my life, and I don't think I would have made it through this year in one piece if I hadn't had them with me. And to I already felt less alone because of them, but then to see ARMY and to be there together, experiencing this in, you know, the same place at the same time, it was just exponentially more intense. That I don't know, like it's weird because, you know, I have a partner and I have children and I'm not alone, but yet it's so easy to still feel alone when, you know, you don't feel understood, or you're going through things and you don't feel heard, or whatever it might be. I said to my partner, I know you don't get it, but these people are a gift. They're actually a gift. And I don't think I would have made it through without them. But that theater, oh my God, you should have heard. I mean, there were people there with their army bombs, and I've never heard such screaming. I wish they could have heard it, because I felt so bad seeing the looks on their faces, you know, with the silence, or just the clapper sound on day one in particular, when it was just such a shock for them. The screaming in the theater and the fan chants, it was just phenomenal. And the hype when Ant-Man came on and everyone just jumped up and started yelling, it was unreal. And we made, yeah, the instant friendships. It's just so amazing to me that we can all feel so close and so connected when we've only spoken just a few words to each other so quickly. I met, you know, the people sitting next to us were already friends on Facebook and planning Melbourne events in Australia. And it's you know, it's almost like I trust armies more than I probably trust almost anyone. Even some people that I've known for years, just because I know what kind of people they are, because I know what kind of people BTS are, and the fans that they attract. And I don't know, I love you all so much. So anyway, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. Really, thank you. I love hearing about how these communities like meet each other, and suddenly you have this community that's there locally, right there with you. And yeah, it took maybe this event, this other convening moment, to really discover the extent of it. And then, yeah, instant connection. I love it. Okay, I am gonna bring up another speaker. So, I believe YF era Bangtan, you're up.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for the space. And also, I want to say thank you to everyone that's already spoken, because so many of your stories have resonated with me. I think at least one thing that everyone has spoken to so far has really, really rang true with me and my own experience. I've been Army since early 2019, and like many of the other Army that have already spoken, I'm also a mom Army. My young daughter got me into BTS, and really in the beginning, I just wanted to monitor what she was so engrossed in. I wanted to know what she was spending so much time consuming, and completely got drawn in. And we bought tickets. Unfortunately, we missed the Speak Yourself concert in Chicago. We're in Chicago, and it was really a bummer. I think after the fact, we realized like what a missed opportunity that had been. So we were super excited for Map of the Soul 7. We had amazing seats. We were looking forward to it. And like many other Army, BTS came into not just my life, but my family's life during a really difficult time. We had a major loss in our family. And I want to say for probably the majority of 2019, the only joy in my house, the only laughter you would hear would be something around BTS, whether we were watching Run BTS or we were watching Bon Voyage or we were just listening to their music, they really helped us through that moment of grieving. So we were really excited for Map of the Soul 7. And like everyone else, we were devastated when things were postponed and then eventually canceled. And we were really fortunate to be able to go see them at SoFi. And I even pulled my daughter out of school because, as I'm sure many other people experienced, after 2 years of remote learning, any moment of joy that I could bring to her life was much more valuable than, 2 days in the classroom. I wasn't worried about the time that she was going to miss in class, and she's an amazing student. And I want to say for the first time, she was there with us on day 4. And for the first time in a really long time, I saw this joy and excitement in her face that I had not seen in a very, very long time. And that made everything worth it, right? Like all of the expense, everything that it took for us to get there, it made it all worth it in that moment. And I know that's a moment that none of us will forget. So it was her, myself, and my husband. And my husband is like, let's say, Army adjacent, right? So he's not Army, but he definitely appreciates BTS and he supports our passion and he'll sit and watch and consume their content with us. But I don't think he would call himself Army. Anyway, it was a beautiful memory that that we will always have. And I think what really was special to me about the SoFi experience, besides that, was the coming together of all of these people from all over the world. And I've never had an experience like that in my life. I don't know if I ever will again. But I think because it was the first in-person concert after the pandemic, there was people from all over the world. We met people from the Philippines, from Japan, from Korea. I went on day 3 and there was a K-Army that was sitting next to me and we could barely communicate with one another, but we still managed to somehow. And I just really felt this moment of gratitude because when else are you going to be able to be a part of something so special, really monumental and historic, right? So that was my experience at SoFi. And we went to, last Saturday, we went to watch them in the theater here in Chicago. And I went with some Army friends. And I also brought some friends who weren't Army, or maybe they weren't then, but are on their way to being Army. And despite the fact that they were not familiar with BTS, and despite the fact that they don't speak Korean and still sat through the whole concert without subtitles, they were so moved and they had so much fun. And I think, they finally got it. And that really meant a lot to me because I gave up trying to explain BTS to people, right? Like, I'm sure like other people, you get judgment or people just don't understand. And I'm not going to justify my joy to you, right? Like, I'm not going to try to defend what makes me happy. It makes me happy and that's good enough for me. It doesn't have to make you happy. You don't have to love it. But it was really touching that they both were like, wow, we understand why you're so passionate. It was really nice being in community with everyone there and also tonight or today, wherever you are in the world. And that's my story. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that wherever you are, you're well. And I'm grateful to be in community with all of you.
Thank you. Oh, so grateful to hear from you and from everyone. Exactly. Feel the same way. We often hear about these stories of BTS being a source of joy in a really dark time or helping you get through some sort of difficulty. I mean, that's so, I think that that's the most common Army story. It's probably something that most of us, if not all of us, can share. And it's really remarkable to hear about your experience where that was actually happening for your whole household at the same time. Thank you so, so much. Okay. We have our next speaker who's coming up. Yenny, if you're there.
Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, Christina. She's my moot.
Nice.
Jenny.
Hi. Okay, so I've been ARMY, like officially ARMY, since 2017, but I've actually been like listening and being with BTS since I actually stumbled on their debut date just like randomly. So I was watching them countdown that day, and yeah, BTS came on, and since then, hi, almost 10 years now. So, it's every day I'm honestly just flabbergasted, to say the least, of how far we've come with BTS, because I still think of them as like debut BTS, because I'm the same age as Namjoon and Hobi. So being able to grow up with them is just like a very unique experience that it's difficult to explain, but um, it's very unique and very insightful, because I mean, I went through, I think it was like my second year, entering my second year of university when I discovered them. And then, I graduated university. Then I went to law school. I graduated law school, and now I'm doing my career. So just being able to do like that, growing up with BTS and them, seeing their music evolve from when we were like in our late teens to our early 20s, and now we're maturing and hitting our the flirty 30s, as I love to call them, the thriving 30s. And I didn't get to go to PTDLA. I'm a California ARMY, so because I was having like some health issues at the time, but I actually did get to go see them for the first time at Speak Yourself at Rose Bowl. And the way that I always tell armies that, you know, it's normal to malfunction for the first 25 minutes and not remember anything, because it's just so overwhelming when you realize like, oh, these 7 guys, they're real. They are real, and they are as beautiful on the outside as they are on the inside. And just, going from seeing them on television and your laptop and phone to actually in person, hearing the angelic vocals that will be for you forever, being around other ARMY, it truly is the happiest time and the happiest place, because everybody is just so happy, so content, so full of life. You come out a changed person, really for the better. And it's really hard for me to explain this to people who don't, I wouldn't say don't know about BTS, because like at this point, I'm still shocked that most people do know about BTS. Because I mean, we went from like, wait, what, to, oh yeah, I've heard about BTS. And like just how being an ARMY is such a unique experience, because when we joke that we all share the same brain cell, it's kind of true though, for the better, because we all share just this appreciation for not just, BTS as the artist, but I'm talking about like Kim Namjoon, Kim Seokjin, Min Yoongi, Jung Hoseok, Park Jimin, Kim Taehyun, Jung Jungkook, like them as people, because I don't see them as like their persona of just BTS, like the artist, but as their individual persons, because they tend to not, like even then themselves said, they're not two distinctive entities, if you get what I'm saying. They're very much who they are and who they present themselves to us in their work. That's a side of them that they don't manufacture. Like they're very genuine, and throughout the years, you could tell when somebody's faking it, especially since it has been 10 years and they've surpassed that cursed 7-year mark. If they weren't genuine, it would have shown by now. And every single day, they just show how genuine they are, because they don't claim to be perfect people. They allow us to see their insecurities, and they talk about those insecurities without being ashamed of them. And as somebody who, is still like, because every day we're growing, right? And just being able to grow up with these role models, even though, same age as some, older than some, younger than some by only a couple years. Like, I consider BTS to be one of my biggest role models, because they allowed me to realize that I don't have to be this perfect person to be successful in life. Rather, I do have faults, and that's okay. But how I deal with those faults that I find in my own, that is up to me. But at the end of the day, those faults won't hinder my success if I don't let them. Especially with, you look at just how them as people have overcome so many things at such a young age. It's just very inspirational. And I know I'm talking a lot, and I talk a lot. Sorry, that's just like the law person in me. We like to talk. So I just want to end it with this, is that I look forward to the decades to come with BTS more. And I can't wait for more ARMY to be able to say that they've been with BTS for decades now, because it is such a beautiful experience to know that you are growing up with these people, no matter what your age is, because we all can find something beautiful in this experience.
Yes. I mean, so well said. Thank you so much. And I was definitely feeling what you were talking about as a fellow Rose Bowl ARMY. That second day at the Rose Bowl really, really has stuck with me in a way that, like, I don't even have a reference point for other kinds of like experiences or entertainment for how that's stuck with me. Um, and I really agree that sometimes these experiences are transformational.
Yeah, I
And it
went to
doesn't,
day one. So we
yeah.
didn't know anything. So
Oh, yeah, I was there day one too.
yeah, so like the anxiety that took over seeing Jungkook in the air for the first time, and like wanting to run down to the floor in case anything happened. Because I was like, what is he doing? Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, I mean, that's a whole topic in itself, I think. Like, those very, very intense, and people have even mentioned, like, through the project and stuff, like, you know, whether you're a spiritual person or not, sometimes a spiritual quality to these things. I mean, I could really go on and on in response to that. But anyway, I won't. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. And just one more thing to add for the Bangtan scholars. I really appreciate the work that you do, like the very much interdisciplinary account that you have, just spreading, education. And, that's kind of something that I'm trying to do as well. So I just hope to looking more at your content in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us as a team. We've definitely had a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes it's very hard on us mentally. Sometimes we get really exhausted. But when we're able to provide these types of spaces or resources, or even just having that friendship connection, just being an ARMY, not being, represented as Bangtan scholars, it makes everything worthwhile. We don't know if BTS will ever see it, and we're not there for them to see it. We're there, to bring everyone together. And if we can do the best that we can, then we will continue on. So it means a lot to us. Thank you so much.
Yes. So while I am bringing the next requested speaker up to the space stage, I just want to mention, so I don't know how many of the audience have joined more recently or who didn't get the sort of like intro to just the point of this space. We've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes. And it's basically just an open space for you guys to talk about I mean, particularly your concert experiences, since we are coming off of the Seoul shows, the replays are starting soon, and then of course we're also looking forward to Vegas starting in a few weeks. But I mean, this is really an open space for you to like talk about whatever comes up related to that, obviously. So we're talking about lots of different things. And so if you do wish to speak and share your experience or your thoughts, please send in your requests. We probably have time for a few more after this one. Hi.
Oh.
Hey there. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I did join a little late, so hopefully I'm not repeating anything, but I'm an AMA ARMY, and I love to point out that I found BTS a month after my wedding, so my poor husband did not know what he was getting into, but he is game, you know, he respects the game. He does not enjoy it, but like he respects he's in law school right now, and I did not tell him that I had already bought plane tickets to Las Vegas, and there's an ARMY in one of his classes, and he came back and he was like, "Are you going to Vegas?" I was like, "Oh my God." But so I'm greedy for concert experiences. I've gone to as many as I can just because I don't have children, so respect to parents, but they're so important to me because I fell in love with BTS, but I also fell in love with ARMY and all the things that I've learned from ARMY. Just the friends that I have around the world, coordinating across time zones, just the interesting projects that I see different people doing, and just learning what other people think are funny or not funny, or how they view different world topics. It's just, I love ARMY, but sometimes, or I've also seen ARMYs sometimes hurt people, and most of the time that hasn't been me, but I do have to admit, a couple months ago, ARMY broke my heart a little bit, and I'm not super over it, but the LA concerts were so important to me because being there face to face, it's like, it's different than over Twitter. You know, people talked about, you know, seeing all the ages and the fashion and the creativity, and like how many people like made those covers for the ARMY bombs, and like they were so excited to give them out, and you could like see the pencil marks where they had cut them out, and I was like, oh, you did so much work, and I can just imagine you like doing all this work and thinking about how you were going to give them out. And I know I've tried to take things to concerts, and it's so scary to like bring your thing and have to like give it out to people. Like this last time I brought face paint, and I think I painted like 4 faces, but I did it. I got out there and tried to contribute to the good feelings. And I'm excited for Las Vegas too. And I'm trying to plan something, because sometimes it's scary because you want to participate, but then if people don't like your thing, it's like more heartbreaking. And I've had such great experiences going to concerts. Like, just, it's so much easier in person to just jump out there and be like my newest friend that I invited to the movie. He was on the subway at the same time I was back in Boston. Like, and I was like, oh, that person is wearing a cookie. Like, we are both on the subway at 11 at night, and like that person is wearing cookie merch. Like, he just came from LA. I know it. And so like, creepy me, I like went over and started talking to him, and like now we're friends. And that is so much easier for me in person. And yeah, I like being around ARMY. It's nicer sometimes. That's all.
Yes. I hope you have an awesome time in Vegas. And something I've been seeing a lot of, especially, I don't know if I'm just like seeing more for whatever reason or noticing more, but there are a lot of, I think, like fan organized events that are happening around the Vegas concerts. Just gatherings, parties, different kinds of fan organized events, which of course I think always happen, but it's striking to me to see that effort that goes into like really capitalizing on the fact that armies all here together for this common purpose, and like adding in those extra opportunities to connect. Cecilia, are you planning on going to any of those other kinds of events?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go to the Korean barbecue restaurant called, I think, 8 Ounce Steakhouse. They're doing a after concert party where they basically will have everything PTD inspired. They have drinks, and I'm hoping to meet Army, make newer friends. I think that's going to be really fun. I'm also going to go to one of the fan events where they do the bubble tea, and there'll be different people, different vendors. So I'm really excited about that because I've never been to one of those events in the US. I was actually abroad at the time of my BTS experience. I was studying abroad in England, and I did a lot of the stuff there. But once I moved back to the US, I sort of didn't really have any Army friends. And I've actually never been to an event here, so I'm really excited to experience that with other people around me. So I can't wait. And I know the feeling that Kenzie was saying about, like, you know, we've created stuff and we're too scared to share. And that's how I felt in LA. And I was like, I was too shy. I'm like, hey, I made this. Would you like to receive it or not? And you know, people were so kind, and I was really encouraged by them. So
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for you too. All right. So here we are. It's been almost 2 hours in this space. If any of you have been here for the full 2 hours, I give you a special extra round of applause. But really just like want to send a purple heart to absolutely everyone here. And I hope it reaches the people who had to leave early too. I was really not sure how this was gonna go just because I've never done something like this before. And I'm so pleased, and my heart is so full. And I hope that you reach out to me, maybe DM me or whatever, if this was something you liked, if this was something else you might want to do in the future, if there's a variation on this that you'd be interested in. I want to know all about how this was for you, and what we can do in the future to continue connecting on our incredible and sometimes transformational concert experiences, you know, whether we're there in person or even if we're only catching a live stream too. So, yeah, I think, Cecilia, if you have any closing thoughts, we're gonna bring this to a close in a moment.
yeah, absolutely. So just like what Sid said, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Yeah, don't forget to follow Project Spaceship if you're interested in more of their activities. And we actually do hope we can do something like this in the future. So thank you to everyone that's joined. We'll see you guys soon, hopefully virtually as well, or in person. Have a great day or night. We purple you, and we hope one day we can all see BTS in real life. And I can't wait till we do, because it's such a beautiful moment in life. My nostalgia is going back.
Yes.
It's very emotional, but for me too as well. So thank you, everyone. Bye. We'll see you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Para hair. You wanna see it?
Thank you.
king